So James Gunn has been, quote-unquote, rehired to direct Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Disney reneged on their ousting of him. They're bringing him back like everybody was hoping. The whole petition, they can stop writing their signatures now. It's all done and set. He's coming back, and he's still doing Suicide Squad 2. So this is interesting. We have somebody directing a DC and a Marvel movie within a close time frame.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what the new release date's going to be on Guardians 3. So first of all, I do want to say I'm thrilled by the actual news. I think James Gunn is really the only guy who could do Guardians of the Galaxy, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, apparently this was a decision that Disney made months ago, but just the public has been completely in the dark about it for some reason. I don't know why they chose to finally announce it now, but, you know, better late than never, I guess. So yeah, people are saying this is a good way to bridge the divide between the two companies. I honestly, I feel like while people do have their preference, DC fans will still see Marvel movies, Marvel fans will still see DC movies. So it's not like you're completely like reuniting the fan base. I don't think we were that divided to begin with.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, when was the last intercompany crossover? It was 2003. They had Avengers versus JLA in the comics, written by, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was Grant Morrison who was a writer on it, and then you had George Perez as a writer. It might have been a different writer, but yeah, anyway, so the last crossover was 16 years ago. There's been nothing since. No one-offs, no comics, no games, no animated things, not even in the Lego games, all of those different Lego games. They had Lego Dimensions, which was like a big crossover with all these different things. And I think it was only DC characters, not Marvel, which is strange. So they have some kind of thing going on where they're trying to keep distant. I guess because of the whole movie TV competition. But yeah, like you said, hopefully this can start something where we can see a few crossovers again. Hopefully, Marvel versus DC fighting game. Come on, guys.
Yeah, I mean,
I saw Ed Boon. He put up on Twitter a poll on what kind of crossover fighting game would you want to see next, like horror, Mortal Kombat versus Street Fighter, or Marvel versus DC, and that one got the highest amount of votes.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't shock me. So I will say, I don't think this is going to lead to any sort of formal crossover. It'd be fun to see if it did, but I doubt it. If anything, I feel like James Gunn's the kind of guy who would probably throw in some sort of Easter egg for the fans in both movies just to sort of, like, subtly connect them.
Yeah.
But I really don't think there's anything that's going to be too substantial in either movie beyond Link to the Audience.
Yeah, so of course, I think one thing that most likely influenced this was the actor's attitude towards his firing in the first place. They came to his support initially, and the guy that plays Drax, Dave Bautista, he outright said, if you don't use James Gunn's script for the movie, I'm just not going to star in it. I'm going to ask, my lawyers to tell Disney to get me out of the contract. And who knows what that might have meant for the other actors.
Yeah.
And how much time they have left before, they won't even have their schedules lining up. Because that's a major problem that happens sometimes, is they get actors and then movies are delayed and then they can't do it anymore.
Well, that's what happened, and this is still on topic, so it's not like I'm formally segueing. That's what happened with Will Smith for the Suicide Squad sequel. Well, technically it's they're considering it a soft reboot, not a full sequel, but
right.
Yeah, but
total reboot. Exact quote.
So for anyone who's not aware, because I feel like this news was sort of brushed over, Will Smith is not going to be coming back as Deadshot in the next Suicide Squad. He's actually being replaced by Idris Elba, who, he's famously portrayed a Heimdall in the Thor movies and briefly in Infinity War for the past however long it's been since the first Thor came out. What was that, like 2009?
Yeah.
So Marvel fans are probably pretty used to Idris's performances, pretty used to his presence. So it's going to be interesting to see him as Deadshot. I'm sure he could pull that off. But
Thor was 2011.
Really? It was that late?
Uh-huh. Yeah, it was the same.
It was like right after Iron Man.
No, it was the same year as Captain America. I think Captain America was in the summer, like June, and then Thor was November.
Whatever reason, I thought Thor was earlier.
Yeah, so now here's one thing. We talked about a while ago that, was it Mark Hamill said he wanted to be in Guardians 3?
Yeah.
So maybe that can happen? I mean, it's all Disney.
Yeah, I wouldn't be all too shocked by it. So
I
mean,
hope so.
I like, look,
come back as cock knocker.
So, I mean, the thing is, like, James Gunn wrote the script for Guardians 3 a while back, well before he was actually fired from the project initially. They were most likely going to use his script for it, even if he didn't come back to direct. And again, that's part of the reason why I think they were so eager to hire him back. Just the fact that they knew they'd have to credit him no matter what. So, there was really no reason for them to fire him initially. So the fact that they put on this charade for as long as they did was just ridiculous. So that being said, he was in talks with Mark Hamill. This was over a year ago, wasn't it? That he had mentioned on Twitter that Mark Hamill was like his next door neighbor, and they were talking about the whole thing. It wouldn't shock me if Mark Hamill appeared in Guardians 3. I
who he should be?
Who?
Oh, no, never mind. That's a DC character. I was going to say he should appear as the Spectre because he did the voice of him briefly in Batman: The Brave and the Bold.
Right.
But that's DC, never mind.
Yeah, I mean, I could see him being in some sort of like a supernatural, like ethereal role. That being said, I don't think Marvel's going to go anything like too supernatural, beyond like I feel like Doctor Strange is the one exception to that, but
even that they just explain as a dimensional thingy.
It's basically him just channeling energy from other dimensions. It's not like it seems like it follows by its own rules, so it's not like magic in the traditional sense.
You call it science, your ancestors called it magic. I come from a place where they are one and the same.
Which, I know people think that's a cop-out, but I actually really kind of like that explanation.